As the Israeli assault on Gaza continues, the Palestinian death toll continues to mount. Over the last 21 days, more than 1,100 Palestinians have been killed, 5,200 wounded, at least 700 civilians among the dead, including more than 350 children. Today, we're going to find out about one of those kids. Suleiman Baraka is a Palestinian astrophysicist. He works here in the United States at Virginia Tech with NASA. On December 29th, Israeli warplanes bombed the house where his wife and 4 children were staying. His 11-year-old son, Ibrahim, was killed. His wife and 3 other children are now homeless in Gaza, along with 17 members of his family. Suleiman Baraka has never before told his story in the United States. He joins us now from Norfolk, Virginia. Welcome to Democracy Now!
Thank you.
It's very good to have you with us, and our condolences on the loss of your son. Suleiman Baraka, can you tell us what happened to Ibrahim?
Yes, thank you first for giving me this chance to talk to American public. I was in my office. I received a call that there was a bombing in my area, and then after a while, the bombing was my house. And then I lost communication with the family for 10 hours. It was really very hard in the emotional, psychological level, because I had known that there's something happened and I cannot follow up. 10 hours later, I knew that my son Ibrahim was critically injured and my mom was moderately injured when they bombed my house with a 1-ton bomb and destroyed the house, injuring my son and my mom. I lived a very hard time as a father who is far, who has lack of information, and I don't see my son, I am preparing for him to bring him to the United States to live here, to value diversity, to go to school, to make new friends. I was, preparing for them to bring him here, and then once in a sudden, I understand that my son is in a critical condition. Then the other day, I got the news that because his condition was critical, he was moved to Egypt for medication. Then automatically, I just went to Egypt to follow up my son. One day after I arrived, they say that the brain can come again and he can be awakened because he was in deep coma. There was a sharpen in his right hand brain and leg and hand and a cut in the back. I stand by him, and there is no need to describe what a feeling of a father who is looking at his child dying. January 5th, midday, I received a call from the doctor that my child passed away. It was really a very heartbreaking and very sad moment. And also, the sadness is accumulated when I could not go back to Gaza for the funeral and the condolences of my son, because Gaza is closed. And it's only open for bringing into Egypt wounded and sending back dead in coffins. So as a father, it was really very hard difficulty, and I'm still remembering the last messages 5 days before he was, before the accident, because I am diabetic and he was worried about my health. And he told me that how I'm feeling and I should take care of myself. He's my son talking to me like my father. And he said, I bought a new bicycle and I am happy with it. So I still remember this message in my mind. And last September, I was in Paris, and I was talking to French astrophysicist professors who are teaching in Paris universities, and I told them, I built a new house, 2-story house. I wanted to invite in a Jewish family to live with me side by side, where my children play with their children. Now, they destroyed the house and they killed my child. What is this?
Mr. Baraka, I just wanted to ask you, when your child was transferred from Gaza to Egypt, they did not allow any family members to come with him out of there? What's happened to the rest of your family?
My son. No, they allow my brother, who was accompanied. Every wounded person is accompanied by one family member. So my brother was with him. Yes, my brother was with him, and my brother went back with him with the coordination right across Egypt and Israel.
And what about the rest of your family?
Okay, within 1 week, they destroyed my house, my old house with 3-story buildings with other 2 brothers, and they destroyed the houses of 4 brothers. So a total of 20 nephews and nieces are without shelter and probably without food now. A total of 8 houses had been totally destroyed, and the old house I had, I was worried about my library, who I collected in 20 years. And yesterday my daughter called me and she was crying because we lost our telescope. The building that killed my son, I used to take my children on the roof and show them Venus and Jupiter and the sky, because typically if you ask any Palestinian children, if you look at the sky, what you'll see, I will see Apache and F-16 jet fighters. So I wanted just to show them that there is something beautiful behind these stereotypes. I wanted to help not only my children, but the Palestinian children. And I did lots of public lectures in astronomy to create a sort of hub and expanding the imagination of our children that there is something beautiful than this cocoon, which is called Gaza, which had been closed for 2 years, and after 2 years it had been bombed in this crazy war that is unjustified and very excessive use of force. My house is not a military base. Ibrahim is 11 years old. He doesn't need F-16 jet fighters to kill him. My house roof was there for me and my children to use my telescope, not anti-aircraft missiles or rockets. I have no language to express what I feel about this. Now, all our houses are destroyed. My family, I lost communication. I rarely, have some, with my family, because my daughter with my wife is at their grandpa's. The other members of my families, I have no communication with. It's really heartbreaking, and I don't know. Sometimes I feel speechless. I cannot say as a father, and when I look at the photo of my son, I cannot convince myself that I will never see him again. I lost my son, but I didn't lose my inner peace. But how I can convince my son Dawood, who is 5, who witnessed the bombardment of his house and the killing of his brother, is that investment for hatred and violence and anti-violence? I think Palestine and Gaza especially doesn't need initiatives, talks, demonstrations. Palestinians need interference, and the password to end all of this: end occupation, end occupation, end occupation. You eliminate the action, then there will never be reaction, whatever the language describing the situation. The problem is in occupation. When the occupation is ended, and there is legitimacy, there is United Nations resolutions, there is everything. It's very easy. It needs a will, and it needs those people who are wisdom guided, not power guided. Civilization of power will not work forever. Power of civilization always bring about prosperity, peace, coexistence.
Suleiman,
there is enough of everything for everybody.